Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I see my bushes is shaking. Who in there? You're on my porch. Can you at least ring the doorbell? Who is that? Let me know who in here with me, y'all. We got some stuff to talk about this morning. Who in here with me? Y'all gonna tell me or y'all just gonna, you know, just let it be what it is? Oh, good morning, Latanya. Hello, sweetie. Well, we got two people in the bushes that don't care to hit the like button, but it's okay. It is all right. We taking it there this morning, y'all. Like I said, I don't know if y'all saw the thumbnail. I don't know if I uploaded it right. I ain't trying to be perfect. My point is, don't clutch your pearls. Take them off. Take the pearls off. Okay? I don't know if you went to early Sunday meeting. I don't know if you went to early Sunday service. I don't know. What I do know is I'm mad. I'm mad and I'm mad as hell and I ain't afraid to say it. I'm mad. Good morning, Philly. Good morning, baby girl. Good morning. I like to see you showing your beautiful face. Well, girl, listen. Do you hear my voice? Girl, my voice ain't even woke up yet, let alone my face. Girl, I'm going to go live later on. I did get my computer. The funniest thing happened, y'all. Listen. Don't laugh at me, y'all. I'm not playing. I'm going to climb through this phone. Don't laugh at me, y'all. Ain't nothing wrong, baby. Nothing wrong. I just, y'all wake up in the morning and my voice trying to wake up, but it's not woke yet. Good morning, Kelly. I'm mad at you, Kels, because I have been begging you to get at me, but it's okay. So don't laugh at me, y'all. I ordered my computer and I didn't read the specs. And my computer is not, it doesn't have a camera lens. So I had to go out and buy what they call a webcam. And I had to buy the speakers so that y'all could hear me like I hear y'all. You know what I mean? Yeah. I had to go do that yesterday. So I haven't hooked it up yet. And I left mine in the comments. I didn't see it, bro. All right. So that's one reason why I'm not camming up. I am not going to cam up until I finish putting my computer to set up everything and go from there. But y'all, I'm mad this morning. I'm mad for two reasons. One, because of all of the bullshit that's out here on these social media sites about what happened with Naziah's trial. 13-year-old Naziah Harris, who went missing, and per the Michigan prosecutor, Kim Worthy, claimed that Naziah was also pregnant. She claimed that Naziah, that they were deeming her to be unalived, to have been unalived. With that being said, I don't know if y'all watch my other live about Naziah, and I I encourage you to go listen to those details, because while I may touch on some of it this morning because I need everybody to understand, I may not. You understand what I'm saying? I may miss some stuff. HP laptops. I have a laptop. I don't know if it's HP or not, girl. I have a laptop, but I didn't want to. I want to set up. I said that, Philly. Like. I don't know if you follow Two Uncensored or Tootie Reacts, but I want that whole setup looking thingy thing. I want a desktop. You know what I'm saying? I want that whole setup joint, right? I want my. So I went with a desktop. But anyway, I encourage you guys to go and listen to my live about Naziah Harris, because this morning, while I plan on saying a whole lot, I don't know if I'm going to miss some stuff. Good morning, my sweetie Wendy. How are you, love? Good blessed morning. Oh, first and foremost, did y'all set y'all clocks ahead? You know we spring forward today. What? Legalized. Philly, do what you do, baby. What is that right there? And you gotta go. You gotta go. Period. Never to be seen again. So, so apparently, like I said, and everybody who follows the story, they know that one of the creeps in this story, because baby, there are many, but the male son of a bitch in this story was given a plea deal. And Naziah was not his only victim. Naziah was the niece of one of his children's mother. His own daughter was one of his victims. And she's not the only daughter of his that's a victim. Good morning, Miss Scott. Good morning. Renita, Miss Wilson. That's what I said I was going to call you. Miss Wilson. Good morning, baby. Good morning, boo. Good morning, Miss Scott. Yes, baby. Yes. So, now that we know that one of the male sons of bitches that we know was a perpetrator in this story, he was offered a plea deal. So he got off easy. Because like I said, Naziah was not his only victim. And he victimized many of his own daughters, let alone everybody else's daughter. Good morning, Miss Parker. Good morning, babe. I put it in Kels. I put my email in the comments of your last night's live when you were featuring the Black Woman song. That live, I put it in the comments this morning, and that was dope. That music is the bomb, absolutely. So, but these other what do I want to call them? What do I want to call these whales? These beluga whale, flat back, big belly, bloated bitches. Okay? That's what I'll call them. Alright? And they mama. Let me tell y'all something. I'm already mad as hell that Nasty McNasty really got away with in many opinions. I'm not even going to say in my opinion. No, many opinions. Most opinions. He got away with it because he deserved the DP. But Michigan don't have it anymore. But the one that he laid down and procreated with, listen, yo, y'all, she need to be stumped out. Like, how is it? Like, what must be wrong with you that you think it's okay to walk around here with your head held high, ho? It's not cool. Nothing about what you participated in is cool, chick. Nothing about it is cool. I saw that, Kels, but it hasn't been confirmed, right? Because that's the other thing. The person that put that out there, that family member that put that out there, has been beefing with other family members. And it's like she's notorious for wanting to be the one who gave the exclusive. Okay? So I don't know if it's true or not. I just don't know. It has not been confirmed. And in fact, when Tootie interviewed the father of one of the victims, and although she wasn't touched, she was still a victim because she was exposed to something that an 8-year-old should never be exposed to. She was made to watch. Good morning, Nicole, baby. He even tried to coerce her. She was 8. She was 8 years old, y'all. So that baby will never, in fact, the father said that her and her brother are going to counseling. But he also said that, Kels, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. And if that happened, I don't know why it ain't all over the news. Good morning, Rhapsody, my love. Good morning. I don't know why it's not all over the news. Kels, if there's a link for that, can you please put it in the comments? And or up on my community, put it in my email, and then I'll pin it on my community wall. Please put the link there if you can, if there is one. Because I searched and I don't see nothing about her body being recovered. Now, like I was saying, the one of the victims, good morning, Miss Lady, good morning. The father interviewed with like an update. And he said that don't none of them had 8 kids. The grandmother don't have her foster kids. Them beluga whales don't have their kids. That's what he said. Now, we know that one of the whales don't have her kids because he got them. He has his daughter and he has the other child. That's a son. It's not his bio son. It's not his biological son. However, for the best interests of the kids, he didn't want to separate those 2 children. And he said his mother wanted and told him these babies need each other. And he was old enough to make his own decision, and that's what he did. He said, I want to stay with my sister. And so they're still together. Blessings, my God. So I don't know about them getting their kids back. And guess what? If justice were truly done, that wouldn't have even been a possibility, I dare say, huh, this morning. I dare say that wouldn't have even been a possibility if true justice had happened, right? If true justice was done, those three females would not be walking free as we speak. They would not be walking free right now. First of all, as far as street justice is concerned, they wouldn't be able to walk. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? From I don't care. Listen, first of all, when you get to messing with kids, you being a grandmother don't mean nothing to me. When you get to messing with kids, I don't care if you was 80 years old, you're getting it. You understand me? And the fact of the matter is, this has been happening from one generation to the next. From Naziah's generation to the mother's generation, back to the mother's generation, back to, good morning, good morning, beautiful, back to the grandmama's generation. So this is most definitely a clan of the nasty McNasties, man. These motherfuckers is disgusting. And that grandmother allowed it to perpetuate from her to her kids to her kids' kids. So I wouldn't give a damn how old she is. She ain't no goddamn matriarch. She deserves no damn respect. And like I said, if justice was done, we wouldn't be talking about whether or not they got them kids back. Because she'd be somewhere on the motherfucking gate to get her breakfast. She'd be standing in the motherfucking chow line waiting to be served like the convict she need to be. Like the inmate she need to be. Her sister, and their mama. They'd be somewhere afraid to come out of their cell because they know it's waiting. It's waiting. Come on out of there. And they would certainly, especially if the cells are double bunked or pod, kind of situation, kind of setup. Oh, they definitely have to put the moles together just so that they could protect themselves. Because the world means them no good. Oh, the world wants revenge on them. They do. We do. Because be it not for the decisions that these desperate bitches made, Jarvis wouldn't have been able to do nothing that he did. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll wait. Correct me if I'm wrong. Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday. Hit the like button, please, y'all. Thank you. Because we going there this morning. It's sad as hell the way that our babies are disappearing. It is really, really sad. Our legacies are either missing or in the dirt. Yes, Miss Lady. Yes, in many different ways. The system, law enforcement, and the people in that damn house. They failed her. Yes, they did. And it's utterly disgusting. We way past irresponsible. We're way past a blind eye. And I'm not sad anymore. I'm mad as hell. I'm mad as hell. An 8-year-old testified, y'all, during the preliminary hearing They cleared the courtroom and had a closed testimonial given under oath. And while some people said, oh, I don't believe some of what she said because what your 8-year-old talks like that. I'm sorry, y'all, but when I was 8 years old, I was writing essays. Excuse the fuck out of me. Because we gonna stop not giving these kids the credit that they deserve for being as intelligent as they are, because I was. And ain't nobody taking it from me. Good morning, Olivia. I told y'all, in pre-K, my son was doing sign language. By the time he was 4, he was reading the manual book from our Jeep Cherokee. Don't tell me that an 8-year-old is not capable of getting up on the stand and simply telling what she saw. How hard can that be? We're not going to take that from her. She know what she saw. Many times. They asked her, was that the only time? She said no. He did it with my other cousin too. Wasn't nothing too young about her being able to articulate what she saw. Good morning, Pandora. Good morning, lovely. That used to make me so mad when people were saying that. Why couldn't she tell what she saw? Because you weren't able to do that at 8 years old? That's you. We ain't talking about you. We're not talking about you. We're talking about that 8-year-old. And she said what she saw. And she said it was more than once. So, like I said in my other live, them 3 hoes in that house were giving these girls to that thing, that swamp monster, that filthy fucker, handing them over like penny candy, like summertime free lunches, handed their daughters over. They did. One of the aunts even texted him and said, Naziah want to know if you need her today. Excuse the fuck out of me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Like, are you serious, right? Like, when I heard, her give, read that text or was speaking about it at the prelim, I damn near had to pinch myself. But one thing I definitely did was snatch the bonnet off my goddamn hair. Now, my hair was wrapped up and it fell. Because when I snatched my bonnet off, the bobby pins came out my hair. But I had to touch something. I wanted to snatch something. So the only thing I could snatch was my bonnet. But Lord knows I wanted to come through that TV. And like I always say, if these chicks, and that's for the lack of the term that I really want to use, but I don't really want to be so explicit this morning. But if these chicks had the wherewithal to get away with this long, y'all think about it. How the hell did it not occur to them why he never asked for the boys? If they were so thoughtful and conniving to get away with what we all suspect they played a role in, God knows they weren't smart enough to get their lives together, but the act itself, don't tell me that they didn't have the wherewithal to say, knowing what's happened to them. You gonna tell me after it happens to you, you don't know the signs? They knew the signs. You know why they didn't care? Because they liked it. Yes, Nicole. Yes, it did. It went on too long, way too long. From, like I said, from one generation to the next to the next. But they liked it. Yes, y'all, can we get some purple hearts in the chat? Purple or pink? You know, there's some ambiguity about whether or not pink or purple was Naziah's favorite color, but I dare say, make it look like Easter up in here. Make it look beautiful in springtime up in here. Yellow, pink, purple, blue. I don't care. I don't care. Make it look like fresh flowers up in here for Naziah, for the mother babies, for all of his victims. And we don't know what their favorite color is. But they're victims as well. But you can't tell me that these butt ugly wenches didn't wonder why he never asked for the boys. Because while they was somebody's victim, I bet you they could tell why that particular person who did this to them, uncle, brother, cousin, father, stepfather, because the grandmother had many husbands. And it's been speculated that one of them was messing with Naziah's mother. Yes. Okay? So you're not going to tell me that they didn't know why that particular special person, uncle, cousin, brother, like I said, stepdaddy, daddy, whatever, only requested that they go to the store with them. Only requested that they come in the basement and help them do something. Only requested that that one comes out in the garage and do something. Only requested that you come here. They can't tell me that they did not recognize that. They can't convince me of that, and nobody else either. The grandmother. The grandmother. Nobody can convince me that all this chick did was set up on her flat ass up in her room with her door closed and just let everybody else run amok. Because listen here now, the brother, or who was supposed to be their brother, because we only heard her voice. And if you ask me, I think it was the beluga whales that was playing voice and phone games when they called up on that podcast. But in any case, whomever the fuck it was, they said that the grandmother ran a tight ship. Quote, unquote. So how you running a tight ship, chick, if you behind doors, you behind closed doors all the time? How you running a tight ship, huh? How you do that? Oh, running a tight ship is you having chains around your refrigerator? That's how you running a tight ship? Huh? Oh yeah, y'all. For y'all that didn't know, she had a chain around. And I'm talking about the kind of chain that the guys used to use for their pit bulls. I'm talking about a chain, a link chain that people use to pull their cars with the other car. If they don't use that tightly wound rope, they use those chains. That's the kind of chain I'm talking about. And I'm talking about a padlock. The kind that you got to use them big giant clippers to cut. Or you need a key. There wasn't no combination shit going on. That's how you run a tight ship, chick? Every one of them babies in that house, I'm sure, got food stamps. And if not, you had foster children. I know they had food stamps. Everything in that food in them refrigerators. You didn't work, chick. You did not work. Those children were your income. So the food stamps that food belonged to them, man. How you locking it up in the refrigerator? I could see saying no, you've had enough cookies for the day. wait for dinner or wait for lunch. Or no, you not having no cookies, you haven't had breakfast yet. I can see that. But locking up your refrigerator, that's how you have a tight ship? Sending your girls to the McNasties, that's how you run a tight ship, right? Huh? But leave the boys at the house with y'all. Is that why your son turned out the way that he did? Because the males that you gave permission for him to go to was already twisted and turned out. Huh? Yes. Yes, y'all heard me. Miss Parker did a live where she interviewed this guy who claimed that he and the grandmother's son went to her and asked for permission for her son to move out the house and move in with him and be with him. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down because I'm not stuttering. And if it's not the truth, either they just really don't give a damn, but nobody ever denied it. No one. Both of them whales was up in front of somebody's microphone, in front of somebody's phone, talking about a whole bunch of crap, but they never denied that. It's a few things that they never denied. And that's one of them. They never said that didn't happen. They never said how my brother chose to live his life he did. That was up to him. He was grown. They never said that. So like I said, that grandmother literally allowed these children, because if her son had to get permission, then that meant he wasn't grown. Talk to me, y'all. That's right, Rhapsody. Tight shit my ass. She ran a horror house. I know that's right. Tight shit. Exactly. Exactly, y'all. Exactly. I can't find your comment, so please email me so we can. Ab Philly, can y'all put my email in the chat, please? Not sure why, but I can't see any comments on last night's live. I'm sorry, boo. Can somebody please put my email in the chat? But they gonna stop talking about this witch ran a tight ship. Not the kind to be proud of, anyway. Because that's just crazy. What's so tight about it? Oh, tight because y'all were allowed to do what y'all wanted to do until another auntie and a cousin found out about it. It was tight up until then. Tight and wrong. Simply horrible, unethical, immoral, disgusting, appalling, wicked, dark, painful. And I'm mad about it. I am mad that they didn't put up more of a fuss. If y'all are so innocent, if y'all love Naziah so much, them three cannot convince me that their voices wouldn't have been heard by that prosecutor had they used them. Had that grandmother went up there to Miss Worthless her damn self and said, listen, plea deal for my granddaughter? I bet not. You bet not. But the fact of the matter is, y'all, they had to threaten her freedom in order for her to get in front of a camera and act like she was pleading for this baby to be found. One of those refrigerators was some kind of bio refrigerator, one a blood bank would use. I wonder what was up with that. Yes, Rhapsody, I saw that. It was sitting like in the dining room, like right up against the wall behind or, adjacent to the dining room table that we saw during Porker's birthday party. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that same dining room table that the grandmother was breaking her fat ass to get around them kids, to get over there to that two teeth looking nasty fucker. And then here come one of the beluga whales, push this baby into that table so that she could get over there too. Like Chris Brown just walked through the door. Yes, Olivia. I mean, mind y'all, both of these things sat up there on that stand and head thing one said that he was never in her house. She said that her daughter, flathead one, would go outside and talk to him and the kids would follow. But see, the question was, would Naziah ever go out there? And she so strategically answered the question, yeah, all the kids would. That ain't what the fuck he asked you. And did they double down on that? No. It would have taken 1 second to say, I'm not asking about all the kids. I'm just asking about Naziah. At that prelim, they added zero pressure. None. And I know it's just a prelim. I know it wasn't the trial. And I understand that that's why we looked forward to a trial. But I also dare say that Kim Workless knew that. She knew it. But she was dogged so heavily on this YouTube thing that I even dare say, I ain't giving y'all no trial. But what do we matter in the eyes of justice? What do our opinions matter in the eyes of justice? You get up here with your watermelon head talking about all this stuff that you're going to do for Naziah. Yet you turn around 2 years later and offer this man only a portion of what he deserved. Not even half. Y'all know me, I believe in an eye for an eye. And what he did to those girls should be done to him. Over and over and over again. He's been doing this since he was a teenager. By the time we found out about him, Naziah was 11 and he was 40. So if all he suffers is 20, 25 years of what he did to them girls, that still ain't but a portion of what he deserves. Absolutely. He deserves for his virgin hold to not be virgin anymore. I'm going to go and throw that out there. I'm not afraid today. I have had to delete videos, lives, where we were having so much fun, but because of the haterism, I had to delete it, but the fun was had nonetheless. And guess what, subscribers? Guess what, my babes? We're going to do it again. Next Friday, we going to do it again. And we going to have even more fun. So, bam on that. But back to my point. I ain't afraid to say it. His virgin hole need to be taken from him. That's it, that's all. It need to be gone. Olivia, I hope so. I hope so. Real bad. The baddest of the bad. He need to get it so bad that he wish he didn't wake up the next day. And the next day pain need to be worse than the pain the day before. He need to be done so bad that he don't even know if he pissing or shit. That's how bad he need to be done. Absolutely. They need to ravish him like rabid dogs. When he get up, he need to be so infested with and infected with filth. You understand me? But see, the thing is, Olivia, when it come to PC, what I am starting to learn is PC ain't so protected like it used to be. Right? PC ain't the way it used to be. PC used to be full of cowards that did unspeakable things to people. But it ain't the way it used to be. So you can run your ass to PC if you want to. Run on up there. Go ahead. Plead for PC. Go ahead. Because I also understand that in PC, they don't watch it as closely as they do GP. Let me tell you facts. Them inmates make it happen. They got reach. Oh, I believe you, boo. I believe you. So there is no safe place, as it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. And that grandmother and them flathead twins need to be suffering the same fate. Somebody need to be sending a kite saying, you want flathead number 1 or you need flathead number 2 today. It's my word. They need to be getting plunged out. If you understand what I'm saying, they need to be getting plunged out. Absolutely, Olivia. Absolutely. Yeah. Half these prisons, they have COs because they're just supposed to. But the inmates run it. Absolutely. All over the country. Absolutely. Flathead, beluga whales. Y'all look up the picture of a beluga whale and y'all look at that picture of that thing standing in that purple dress and the other one standing in the blue dress. I mean it when I say beluga whales. You couldn't tell them that they wasn't the finest things walking. And that's a fact. You couldn't tell them that. But that's because people lied a lot. I don't mean to laugh, but it's Sean B's description of people for me. I'm just keeping it a bean, Ebony. Look it up, y'all. Y'all go ahead. Look up beluga whale. Now, they were also called the Mucinex twins. You know that thing on the commercials with the Mucinex medicine. They were called that too. Uh-huh. They were. Wide backs, flat backs. Uh, man, these things is nasty, man. They are those serpents that crawl on the ground that are so disgusting looking. You don't know if you want to stump that motherfucker out or if you just want to walk around it. Because you don't know what's going to happen to it if you stump on it. That's what they look like. That's what they are. Due to what's been said happened to their mother, I dare say she should not have reproduced. It is awfully ironic. Y'all hold this for fact's sake. It is awfully ironic, and I have nothing against the LGBT and the rest of the letters, y'all. I'm out of date. I don't know. But I have nothing against that community. My best friend, who is no longer with us, was. And that was my guy. Me and him used to go to the club together. And he was bi. He had kids. And we would act like to everybody like he was my man. Just so wouldn't no niggas try to kick it to me. And girls used to come up to me and say, is that your brother or your man? Because I want to dance with him. Girl, that's my brother. Go ahead. We just got people food like that. Oh, okay. Like, so I have nothing against that community. But it is awfully ironic how this chick had multiple kids. And they all go that way? All of them? Come on now. Come on now. All of them. Really? Really? It's something to that to me. I haven't had faith in the system since Casey Anthony at all. Oh, but baby, ooh, Jesus. It was some before that. And I'm going to cover them. It was some before Casey Anthony. Absolutely. But you're not going to tell me that it wasn't something nasty in the gene pool for all her kids' sexuality to be the way that it was. All of them? I never heard of such a thing. I never heard of such a thing. No. And then after the male McNasty gets locked up, the two flatheads went up on Tinder to go on dates. Y'all heard me. They started taking they're bizarre. Oh, and one of them got that eye. You know, that eye that makes you wonder, chick, is you looking at me while I'm talking to you, or you just nosy like a mother? Because you can look at the left side of the room and the right side of the room. Like, focus, bitch, I'm talking. This is no dig at anybody who, has that issue. I'm just talking about this one. So please, don't take offense. If you're a beautiful person, you are beautiful inside and out. Do not internalize what I'm saying. Just roll with me. Because they deserve every debasing, derogatory, negative, disgusting description that they hear. They deserve it. And I ain't lying. How about that? I'm not lying. One of them do got that eye. I'm not lying. So you can't get mad till I start lying. But these things, y'all remember when we were younger and there used to be caterpillars on the ground? And you were like, ew, it's so ugly. Yeah. Now, we didn't know as kids that they were gonna morph into the most beautiful things that God created, which were butterflies. And that was just a part of their life cycle. Well, these things just walked the earth, and they never morphed into anything to be proud of. They never morphed into anything beautiful. Ever. And they never will. Because they don't deserve to. It's truly, and I beg God to forgive me, but it's truly up to God to forgive them for what they did. Because it was habitual. It was perpetual. Not only did they allow what happened to their own children, because see, y'all, the 8-year-old, she told her mama what happened. She told her mother what she saw. Did it make a difference? Did it make it stop? No. It didn't. And so there's been some stories out there that, and I'm not calling them some stories as if I don't believe them, because I do. But I just can't prove it. I wasn't there. But there have been some stories out there that said when her mother didn't listen to her, she told her father. And listen here, y'all. Listen here. I'm an equal opportunity type of chick. Dude, if you knew, and it took the authorities to remove your daughter, I got a problem with your ass too. Hello, somebody. Good morning. I got a problem with you too. Why does it have to take the authorities, somebody in a robe, to make you do the right thing? Why? So then with him taking on the pastor that he's taken on now, since everything has blown up and he stepped up, and between his mother and him, they have his daughter and her brother. That's the one part that leaves me to believe that he didn't know. I'm going to give credit where it's due, but I'm going to acknowledge what's being said. I ain't here to pick. The only side I'm here to pick is the one for the kids. And the fact of the matter is, the 8-year-old that testified was still in that house until the authorities showed up to come take them. Oh, because, see, the CPS, they showed up and they believed the monsters. It was even said that they questioned the children in front of the monsters. See, CPS is so screwed up that they send out a phone call. Good morning, monsters. I just want you to know that we're going to be coming by on March 9th at 9 o'clock. We need to talk to you about some allegations that's been made against you all. See you then. And so another guy, gave an interview and said he was over there painting. He was painting. Because, see, a lot of people said she didn't keep a clean house. Now, I don't know if that meant that it wasn't immaculate or if it was truly a filthy home. I don't know. But I dare say he was over there. Now, he said he was only painting around what I would call the high traffic areas. Y'all know how kids go up the stairs and they got to run their hands along the wall, or when they walk from one room to the next. It's like when kids walk, they just can't walk without touching the walls. I get that. So he said he was painting in those areas. Okay. All right. My question is, was it done because CPS was coming? Or was it done because it was unsightly? You can't wipe off but so much, especially if the proper paint wasn't used in the first place. So you start out wiping it off and you wind up wiping away layers of paint instead of just layers of dirt. So why was it done? Was it done like Sierra Day did? She tried to mask her wicked deeds with Clorox. She tried to have her apartment smelling like Clorox instead of rigor mortis. Huh? Okay. So like I said, CPS is fucked up. Oh, it is. All over. But this live is about them three. Rhapsody says, did he paint after Naziah was missing? He was never clear about that I saw. Now, the truth of the matter is, they lived in more than one house on the same street. Right? Now, it's some ambiguity in there as to whether or not she owned all these homes. Some people heard that she did, and some people just don't believe that she did. I don't know. And frankly, I don't care if you're renting or owning it. That ain't the point. That's just not the point. Rather than not you paying a mortgage or you paying rent. What difference do it make? Right? So he was never really clear about whether or not which one of the houses he was painting at. But I do know that it was said that they moved after Naziah was gone. They were squatting, I thought. That was said, Rhapsody. Absolutely. Me and you been in the same chats. That was said. It was said that they were squatting. But see, the only problem I got with that is you can't squat with foster kids. Unless Detroit is just that messed up. Unless Detroit CP is really that messed up. Good morning, Patrice. Good morning, my love. Blessed Sunday. Y'all, did everybody set y'all clocks ahead? Spring forward today, baby. Spring forward. I know our cell phones automatically reset. But did y'all do the clocks on the wall? Gotta get ready for the spring, bulls. So, was CP just that messed up? All these grown people squatting. Exactly. In Detroit, they that messed up. Ooh, Lord, that is so sad. That is really sad, y'all. Anybody need another cup of coffee? Y'all get it, baby. Getting mine right now. Y'all speak to your family as they come in, please. Speak to your family. Your sisters, your cousins, your friends. Show some love, y'all. It's a blessed morning. It's the beginning of spring. We got every reason to feel blessed this morning. Every reason. Excuse me for 1 second, y'all. Okay, I'm back. So like I said, I want to hear what y'all have to say about this. How do y'all feel about what I'm saying? What y'all have heard? Have I not mentioned something that about this story that y'all would like to discuss? Tell me. Y'all's opinion matter. What y'all feel about anything that I've said matters. So they were in one house with the Butts guy. So he had multiple females. He had multiple females. At one, not now when I say at one time, I don't mean like in the same room, in the same house. Like he didn't have a harem, right? But he was dealing with multiple females at any given point, right? And so whether or not he had per se his own address that was his, that he paid for, that was never said. I'm sorry, but I just heard about this when he took the plea. It's okay, Ab. It's all right, babe. That's why we here, boo. It's a lot of people that did not know, or if they knew, they didn't know the details. A lot of people. And it's all right. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it as often as y'all need to, as often as y'all want to, because we want to get it out there. We want everybody to know. That's how you get justice. Because as long as they can keep hiding the truth, as long as they can keep hiding how they're failing these babies, they'll never get it. We'll never get that justice. They'll never be forced to clean up their act and do it right or get fired. They'll never be forced to do that. So we're going to talk about it as often as y'all want to. No apologies needed, babe. At all. That's why we're here. So come on, y'all tell me what y'all think. Tell me something, y'all, because I'm in the basement doing laundry while I'm talking to my beautiful babes this morning. Am I the only one who takes the containers, the detergent containers, and turn them upside down on the clothes that still have to be washed so that I get all my money's worth? Am I the only person who do that? Because, see, I need all mine. I need all mine. I'm sorry. Not sorry. So, come on, y'all. Tell me what y'all think. I just fill it with water. I think. Nope, I need mine too. I know that's right. I think all of the adults need to be in jail. Absolutely. Absolutely, they do. They need to be in prison. They need to be in prison. Where the lifers is at. Where the ones that don't got a damn thing to lose. They need to be there. Stuff too expensive. I know that's right. I do the same. Okay. Oh, I didn't know Trina came in. I didn't see her name. Oh, there she is. I just fill it with water. Shake and pour. Okay. um, let's go off. Shoot. So how are they not facing charges at all? Your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as mine, babe. And that's a fact. I don't understand how they're not. Good morning, Trina. I'm sorry, baby. I meant to speak to you. I got distracted. Good morning, Trina. Good morning. Good morning. I was in your live yesterday. I spoke to you. You did not speak back. But I ain't mad at you, baby. You was on one. You were on a roll. I get it. I get it. Um, y'all gonna be minus a nephew, cousin, little brother if you don't come take this garbage out. But yeah, these two flatheads. And the head, flathead herself. I'm mad about it, y'all. I'm mad about it. What about them three? Yes, yo bro doobie, absolutely, if you don't come take this garbage out. Yes, ma'am. I can't cook dinner until that's gone. I can't do it. What y'all cooking today? I'm gonna make some pepper steak and rice. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm gonna do some pepper steak and rice and something that one of my beautiful babes like some bake some sweet potatoes for the side. A little salad. Yeah, it's looking like Grimace. Yes, Miss Wendy, absolutely. Probably because they look like us. Absolutely, Ab. Absolutely. But guess what, though, boo? The prosecutor looked like us. Huh? The prosecutor looks like us. And I am well aware of the fact, living in the state of New York, I am well aware of the fact. Good morning. And when I did my live, I ain't even had a panel window open. It stayed on private chat. Oh, okay, babe. I did though. I uh I was in the chat. But it's neither here nor there, babe. You're here this morning. It's okay. It's alright. Um but you gon' take them through there when y'all go to court. Oh girl, I have no doubt. You gonna slang them from one end to the other until that gavel break. I have no doubt. Oh, that sounds good, Sean. I'm cooking lazy man chicken and rice and greens. Patrice, what's lazy man chicken? I don't know what that means. Chicken and greens. Ooh. But what's lazy man chicken? I ain't gonna be nice. I love court. Girl, I can tell. I can tell. I can tell. Me and my good girlfriend, we talk about you all the time, and it's like, yo, I don't ever want Trina to get mad at me, because Trina gonna take you through there. Olivia said, right, I want to know. I love chicken. Absolutely. I mean, listen. I'll cook chicken till it can't get cooked no more. One of the reasons is because it's one of the most economical pro proteins out there, right? I mean, you can go fishing and fish your own fish, and that'll be totally free. But I'm just saying. And so if you can find multiple on top of multiple different ways to prepare that, oh, except for frying it, because quite frankly, it's so unhealthy. Downs versus Dalton. All right, baby. Yes. See, y'all, I'm not playing with Trina. Listen, Trina, so what had happened was, girl, if I ever, I'm flying you out, baby. If I ever. Yo, we got a whole paralegal in the house and shit. Stop playing with me. My mama bakes all her chicken. Yes, and there are many different ways to bake it, in fact. It just depends on how you prepare it. Do you glaze it? You know what I mean? It's just all those different ways. Do you sear it first? You know what I mean? So it's a lot of different ways to prepare chicken, and I adore it. I love it. I'm not really a steak person, but my husband and my son is, so um, I've even had to get a little 1-2-ish with that too. You know, they're into their lobsters and all that kind of stuff, so I don't like lobster. Well, I can't say I don't like it, but I don't prefer it. And I'd rather I'd rather pay $50 a plate and go somewhere and eat lobster than for that shit to be cooked in my house. Oh, I hate it. I hate when my husband does that because I've got to remove curtains. I've got to change bedding. I got to take the covers off of my couch and my recliner. I got to wash all that. I've got to mop my floors. I got to get that smell out of my house. Absolutely, I do. I got to get it out of my house. And it takes about 2-3 days for that smell. For when you walk in your house, you don't smell it anymore. I don't like that. Smelling like somebody's nasty hooker been walking and sitting up in my house. I don't like that smell. Uh-uh. One time, my husband told our son, okay, so see, son, you know that smell right there? He said, yeah. He said, she should never smell like that. And my son looked at me. I said, he ain't lying. Yeah. Dalton had 4 federal trial attorneys, and we fought since 2019. I beat that ass in court. People talk shit, not realizing I'm going to be the bitch asking them questions. I know that's right. My phone just changed its time. That's why I'm off this morning. Sorry, Wendy. It should have been off when you woke up this morning. But for real, Trina. For real, for real. Oh, I know you going to take them there. Look, look, look. You know how normally you be like, oh, I feel sorry for the fool. Like Mr. T used to say, I pity the fool. I don't pity them. You give them the business. You give it to them, and you give it to them hard, long, and strong. Give it to them. They deserve it. Because they going to keep playing. They going to stop playing with us. They going to stop playing with us about our beloved. They going to cut that shit the fuck out. Okay, Auntie, where you come with these lines like house smell like a hooker. Stop playing with me. I was wondering where the time went. I forgot. Yes, baby. Yes, it's spring forward today. So we lose an hour of sleep. We lose that hour that we're given in October, September, October, whenever we fall back. So it's about to be daylight a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. And daylight when we get the kids up for school. Yeah. I'm ready for it, y'all. I really am. Can't spell at all. Girl, I get it. I understand. Sometimes it be that keyboard though. It really does. You think you hitting the I, you hitting the U. Okay, stop playing. You think you hitting the A, you hit the S. I get it. I get it. It is all right. So I on my part, I want to apologize to anyone that was traumatized, affected, startled, had to subconsciously remember some stuff, or it brought up some stuff that they thought that they had put aside, but because of the horrors of the world, I'm talking about the Johnsons. Oh, okay. Okay. That Ish put in her fake copyright claim that I used her artwork. Bishop lies, Sean. I made those AI image pics of them. I understand. Girl, listen. Listen, Trina. I know you gonna take them all up and through there, around the block, up the motherfucking buildings, drag their asses back down, and bring them right back to the courtroom. And the judge gonna wonder why his gavel don't work no more. I know. Absolutely. You probably gonna leave some DNA in the courtroom. You gonna hurt them so bad. I get it. And they deserve it. She deserves it. Because enough is enough. You know, and I want you to know, Trina, that I don't say beloved because I'm afraid of that bitch at all. I don't say the defendant because I'm afraid of that bitch at all. That's how I've been saying it. And that's how I'm going to continue to say it, because Romika is our beloved. And the defendant, Holly, is the defendant. That's just what the fuck it is. Okay? Romika is our beauty, our stallion, our man. Listen, she was, oh man, she was phenomenal. She was a black woman. She was earth. You hear me? She was growth. She was pride. She was beautiful. That's all I can say. Did I know her personally? No, but I saw her story. Am I about to sit here and act like we was good girlfriends? No. I'm talking about what I saw. And I felt everything. I felt her anger, her humiliation, her just being tired of that dumbassness. I felt it all. And then I saw all her beautiful pictures of her and her little prince. Her handsome heartbeat. And as a mother, I can grasp the feelings through those pictures. With her little dancing ass, absolutely. The girl knows she was a dancing ass and a body to bang with, okay? With her little self. But she was pretty and she knew it. She was confident and she knew it. But unfortunately, she was tired too. She did everything she could to get away from that thing. But you gonna take them up through there though, Trina. You gonna make them wish they had never said nothing to you. Absolutely, Wendy Big Meeks. Absolutely. So y'all, like I was saying, I want to formally apologize to anybody that was affected by what happened to Naziah and the rest of Jarvis Butt's victims, survivors. Because the only victim is the one that don't live to come up out of it. So that would be Naziah. Everybody else are survivors. I apologize to you guys. Because for those of us that didn't happen to physically, we still cried. We screamed, we hollered, we cussed, we fussed, we did all that to them. Because this was one story where everybody could agree. We may not agree with how a content creator delivered their content. That ain't the point. As far as this story was concerned, we all agreed on who was guilty and who need to be put down. Yeah, I said that. Because he need to be put down. He don't need to be put down like our favorite dog that has taken ill, and no matter what kind of surgery or medical attention, rough gets, he's still gonna suffer, you know, or Trixie will never be the same. So we make that hard decision to put them down. I ain't talking about that. No. No. I'm talking about loud, hard, strong, and long. That's how he need to be put down. I said it and I meant it. That's how he need to be put down. They need to be able to never see again. This is just my opinion, y'all. And I'm kind of messed up in the head. So if I trigger someone, please charge it to my head and not my heart. Because I mean well, but I'm passionate about what I'm about to say. Them hookers need to never be able to see again. Their hands should be amputated. They should never be able to touch another person. Because everything they touched, they hurt. They violated. I don't know for those who haven't heard my other live, but it was even family members saying that they, the twins, the flatheads, violated them. And that's not speculation on my part. This family member was up on another podcast on camera, facial, not from the neck down, so we ain't quite sure who talking. No. She was right there, camera, in her face, snotting and crying and all of that. She looked like she had just smoked a pound, but I probably would have had to tell that story, to tell my story too. But she said it. And she said this particular cousin, one of the flatheads, did it multiple times, all the time. She said she's lost heterosexual relationships due to what was done to her. Because at that point, she was now attracted to the other side. Now, I'm not even going to pretend to understand that. That's not my plight. I don't need to understand that to know that what was done to her was wrong. She was a child. It's like these creatures, they have an affinity for children. Yes, Eb, the two flatback beluga whale things, creatures, were touching their family members as children. Their victims, their survivors were children. They would go over for sleepovers. And that's what would happen to her. That's what she said. And then she said one of the flatbacks had the audacity to give some half-ass apology. I'm sorry. What? No, you're not. You ain't never told nobody what you did to me. You didn't suffer any consequences. You're not sorry. You're not sorry. never admitted to anything. And I dare say that's why it continued. Because they never had any consequences. Never. And so at this point, we're supposed to believe that these three people, these three females, so women violating girls too. Absolutely, Eb. That is what they did, baby girl. That's what they did. And so, just like any other point of society, if you do something without consequences, what are you bound to continue to do? What you got away with. And these three are getting away with what they allowed to happen to the children in their midst, in their home, or getting allowed to get away with what they've done with their own hands. Absolutely, Patrice. That's why I call it perpetual. Just goes on and on. Absolutely. They have consecutively, from one family generation to the next, done this or allowed it, turned a blind eye to it. And see, when I say turn a blind eye, I'm saying you knew what he was. You knew what the possibilities were. And you didn't protect them babies. You turned a blind eye. You knew you were never asked if the boys could come. Yet you kept sending the girls. You turned a blind eye. And they are the ones that got the kids back. I'm disgusted. That's what's being said, Ebony. That is what Tootie, mentioned in her live yesterday, that a family member put on their wall that they got their kid, that one of the aunts got her kids back. The other aunt will never, because the father of her daughter has both her daughter and her son, and they ain't going back. Patrice, they got them back. That's what's being reported by a family member. I don't know it to be a fact. I am just stating what was reported on another content creator's. Tootie actually posted the thumbnail or the post that another family member put on their social media channel. I don't know if it was the Blue app or YouTube. I'm not sure. But I read the thumbnail, and it said that they gave the kids back to one of the flatheads. But then the father said they did not get their kids back. She did not get her kids back. So I don't know. It also said that the grandmother, however, lost her foster license. However that goes. She lost that. So while she didn't get her foster kids back, it was kind of funny the way that it read, because it said that she lost her license. They questioned the kids. The kids told them that they were afraid of the grandmother. She was mean to them and this and this and that. But then at the end they said, but they turned around and gave them back. So I don't understand. What can we do? How can we put pressure on the system? Like, this can't be okay. It's not okay. And Ebony, you know what? The CPS system there was even put all over the news. Oh, it was. Because the news network that was doing this story, a portion of their story was about how the CPS handled the first communication from the family members that reported him having touched the girls at a birthday party. And they went to a retired judge. The judge read the paperwork. And he says this was not handled properly. It indeed was not handled properly. They should have done this, and this. And by no means, until it was investigated, should those children have been left there. He said, and that's why we have the predicament that we have now with the 13-year-old being missing. Because at the time, she was just missing. But then the DA, the prosecutor, Miss Worthless, she comes back and she says, okay, y'all, we have determined with all the evidence that we have that Naziah Harris is indeed no longer with us. While I agree because of the time that had passed, she comes forward and says, she goes on to say, due to the evidence that we've gathered. Okay. You say you don't have her body. So therefore you don't have a cause of her demise. You don't have a cause of her death. You don't know when, where, how. All you know is possibly why. These poor kids, they will be damaged and will end up in classrooms with our children, grandchildren, etc. This is sickening. Exactly. Exactly. Y'all hear me say all the time, because my baby got to go out there in that society with these kids that are troubled. That's why I say that, babe. That's why I say it. Man, listen, I didn't create this channel because I need some attention. I am not attention seeking. I am truly speaking from my heart and my head and every fiber of my being when it comes to these children. I mean it. We have got to stop minding our business and start being nosy when we see these babies out here in the world, walking the street. It's raining, pouring down, and this baby don't have on a raincoat. And it seems as if they're just aimlessly walking with no destination in mind. We have got to pull over and ask them, are you all right? Are you okay? Do you need a ride? Baby, you're soaking wet. Don't try to put him in your car, but just tell him, let's walk inside this McDonald's. Let's get up out this rain for a minute. We've got to start taking just that extra step. We have to. Because what if it was one of ours? My son done missed the bus before. We don't live far from the school. But I've said to him, well, listen, you decided to stay after in the weight class, in the weight room. You decided to play around in the hallway instead of getting to that bus to get home. So listen, baby, time for you to Chevrolet it. You shove one foot and lay the other one. See you when you get home. Turn your location on. Now, because my baby is a big boy, face full of hair, mustache, beard, all that, they would never think that my baby was 14 years old. So, for that God grace, I don't too much worry about him. Someone would definitely have to go the extra mile. But these babies like Naziah, that's 13 years old, maybe 5 feet, 100 pounds, if that much. Especially when they're being handed to the monster, to the beast. They're literally being walked, dropped off, allowed to be picked up. Do y'all know in some of these text messages, it was him saying, I'm about to drop off your cousin, which was his daughter, and I'm going to pick you up. It was 2 a.m. Somebody in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Rhapsody, did you not hear the same thing? I'll wait. I'll wait. And I heard that on Tootie Reacts. She's got 2 channels. Because, see, I'm the type of content creator. What I hear, what I give content on, I'm going to give them flowers. I'm not just going to regurgitate what I sat in the bushes and heard, and then I'm going to go and make my content out of it. Nope. I'm giving it up. That's where I saw it. That's where I read it. That's where I heard you read it. I'm giving all that. I'm giving all of that credit where it belongs. Because, see, that was not reported from a news network. That was not said during a preliminary hearing. Oh, wait a minute. I think it was. Let me correct myself. I believe one of the investigators, when she was reading the text messages, that was something that was read. I stand corrected. But I saw it when Tootie was playing that portion of the preliminary hearing. That's where I saw it at. And so I'm giving the flowers where they're due. I'm not just coming up here starting a live and repeating what I done heard on other people's channels, but not giving their credit. Shame on y'all. Lazy fucker. Shame on you. But in any case, did y'all hear what I said, though? Tootie be passionate too, Sean. Absolutely. You're right, Sean. I had a phone call. Oh, it's okay, baby. Do what you got to do, rap. 2 a.m. 2 a.m. He is coming to bring his daughter home, which is younger than Naziah. She's younger than Naziah. And Naziah had just turned 13 September 16th of 2023. She supposedly disappeared January 9th of 2024. So she had only been 13 for a few months. So if it happened before September, Naziah was 12. And her cousin was younger than her. What on God's beautiful earth is a younger than 12-year-old child? I don't give a damn that she was your kid. What are you doing bringing her home after 2 a.m.? Why is she not in her bed asleep? Rather, she's visiting with you, Dad, or rather, she's at home now with Mom. A younger than 12-year-old has zero business being in a vehicle after 2 a.m. in the morning if y'all are not on a goddamn road trip. Huh? If y'all are not in transition, traveling from Michigan through Ohio, going down through Kentucky, Tennessee, hitting Georgia. You understand me? Hitting the Carolinas, and now you in Georgia because you're on your way to Florida. That's the only reason why that baby should have been in a car at 2 a.m. in the freaking morning. Yet you're texting her older cousin, by a few years, telling her, I'll be there in a minute. I'm about to drop off your cousin. What, sir, were you doing? Oh, we found out what you were doing. You were being disgusting with your daughter. And now you're coming to get her cousin so you can be disgusting with her too. You sick freak. It's a sick freak. And what I'm saying is a fact. It was in the text messages. Now, did he actually get to go through with that? I don't know. But that ain't the point, I dare say. There were text messages. Where we gonna do it at? In the basement? He would play mind games with this baby. He would, and the other day, I'm going to get back to that point, but this just popped in my head and I wanted to say something the other night. I wanted to scream when I heard about the babies in the suitcase, and one of the supposedly fathers said, these young ladies, y'all listen. I am so tired of people referring to these children as young ladies. Philly Juice is a young lady. Olivia is a young lady. Ebony, we some classic babies. Trina, we classic. You understand me? But anything between a senior in high school, if not a little older, all the way up to about 30, that's young lady status. That's young lady status. These were little girls. These were little girls. These were not young ladies. Young ladies are still going to college. Young ladies are making decisions, life decisions on their career. Young ladies are just deciding to become, exclusive with someone. That's what a young lady is. A young lady is not somebody that is still underage. When y'all hear people saying that, please, we have got to change that narrative. We've got to start correcting these people. When they say, man, that young lady, you be like, wait, I thought we was talking about a 13-year-old. We are. Well, that's not a young lady. That's a little girl. Period. They get an attitude, then you might want to reconsider, keeping company with that people, or even having a conversation with that person, because they're either truly ignorant or, they may be a little questionable if they don't allow you to correct them that way. Because a lot of people do just repeat what they hear without thought. Well, y'all are hearing it here. We got to start making them think about what they're saying. Young lady. Them were little girls. So, they were reading these text messages out loud in the prelim. And, here is where I repeat a little bit of what I said in my live. This baby girl, Naziah, was having a conversation with this beast. And apparently he was supposedly mad at her about something. And she's pleading with him, like a young lady would, because it would be appropriate for a young lady to be having this conversation, but as it is, it's a child. It's a child having this conversation. And he's ignoring her. And she's like, "What's wrong? Answer me." And he's not answering her. He played those kind of games with her. Y'all know the kind of games I'm talking about when you ghosting somebody because they done pissed you off, or when you're ghosting somebody because you're playing games, or when someone has done that to you. And lo and behold, she did what many of us have done. She's pleading her case to him, and he's not responding. And she like, say something. Hello? And somewhere in that thread, he says to her, "I want my DS." Y'all heard me. "I want my D-Sup." Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Y'all heard me. Yes, he did. Right? He did that. He said that to this baby, to this little girl. And she said, "Well, that's what I plan to do." Because, see, she's been groomed. Yes, Ed. Yes. She's been groomed. Ebony, listen, baby. Hold on. Because I'm about to blow your wig back. Some people were even saying she was being fast. That's what happened when you be fast. Oh, she was a fast tail little girl. Oh, my God. Really? Really? Now, full transparency. I would understand if she was 14, 15 years old. You know what I mean? Exactly, Rhapsody. Yes, she did. Yes, she did say that. I would understand if this preteen or young teenager was starting to smell herself a little bit, you know what I mean? She's starting to get these little compliments from these other little boys and stuff. You know what I mean? And so as a young teenager, you know, she's starting to like little boys, like they're not icky to her anymore, and she's not icky to them anymore. And yeah, she's starting to be a little hot in the pants. I was there. I did that. I did. Not at 11 years old. Naziah didn't just pull this out of her ass. Years before she disappeared, she was one of the ones that was helping to report him for touching her. And it hurt. But CPS said, the grandmama said they was lying because he was supposed to give them some money and he didn't. The grandmother said, oh, okay. Okay. All right. So that's how we gonna do that. Okay. Okay. So with that narrative, the career child violator, flathead number one, says that Naziah was fast. Shannon has no self-esteem and appears to be desperate just to say she had a man. Absolutely, Patrice. She thought it was a flex to say she had 5 kids by this nasty son of a bitch. She thought that was a flex. She said on Mark D's podcast, he said, and you have children by him? Yes. Yes, I do. I have 5 kids by him. What? Girl, pipe down. Pipe down. That is not a flex. Because how many of them did you let him violate? Because see, my mouth can get real fly, y'all. Ooh, Lord. My mouth can turn straight into the gutter. You understand me? Like I literally can listen. I could drag a mother straight on through that gutter. I promise y'all I could. But I'm talking about babies. So I'm going to keep it as cute as I can. But how many of them did you let him violate, bitch? Patrice, there are so many women out here just like her. I can't stand it. Oh, baby. Baby. The story of the mama that was an addict and supposedly sold or gave her baby to some dude that she owed money to, and that baby disappeared. And you could see him with the baby in a hotel room. Her and dude got locked up. He admitted to it. He admitted to it. These women are utterly pathetic. They do not deserve to walk amongst us. They don't. They need to be on an island, barren of any, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, I'm looking for the perfect word. Barren of anything worth having. Thank you. Barren of anything worth having. They need to be on an island together. All of them. All of them struggling. Figure it out. And if you don't, that's on you. All the privileges and the pretty stuff. They need to they need to be on an island that is void of all of that. They all need to be together feeling like they had Naziah feeling when he told this beast, when she told this beast, I wish I could come live with you. Huh, man. Y'all hear that? In the text messages, this baby was being treated so filthily that she thought it a good idea and that her life would be better if she lived with him. Why? Because he manipulated her young, immature, underdeveloped brain. Because, see, he knew how to do it. He was a predator. He knew how to, just like the devil. He knew how to make it look, make it sound, he knew how to make it feel. He knew how to present her with all the things that she desired. Exactly, Rhapsody. Hello, Renita. Good morning. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew how to present it. Oh man, his representative, man, he need to be paying that joker. Oh Lord. Look, even after his life is gone, his representative was a mean mutter because he knew how to dress it up real good for these chicks. That's not a flex, y'all. I ain't giving a compliment. I'm being sarcastic because his representative knew how to dress it up for chicks that ain't have no standards and had low self-esteem to fucking begin with. It wasn't hard. It wasn't hard. Hell, they was happy that some dude was even paying them any attention, I dare say. And yes, Eb, you are absolutely correct. You said the other day, well, I guess there's somebody for everybody. Well, he was the one somebody for this flathead whale because all of hers is by him. It ain't like multiple mothers was out there beating down the door. Flathead number 1 home? Is flathead number 2 home? Can she come outside and play? No. It's just crazy. It's crazy. She thought that was a flex. So you tell me what kind of horrors were going on in that house, what kind of mistreatment was going on in that house that she thought it a good idea. Sweet Naziah thought it better to live with a 40-year-old man, 40-plus-year-old man who was doing this to her underdeveloped existence. Because everything about her was underdeveloped. Y'all hear what I'm saying? This is a full-grown man who's lived a lot, done a lot. And he is saying to an 11 or 12-year-old, I want my D sucked. What? Y'all listen to me. Listen here. PSA. I'm a grown-ass goddamn woman. I'm grown as hell. And I ain't never had a man say that to me. In my grown years. Not young lady. Grown. And the man ain't never said that to me. My husband done roundabout asked for some Uchi, but he ain't never said that. Are you kidding me? Especially in a goddamn text message. But see, she was a little girl. She didn't know that that's not how she should be spoken to. She didn't know. He was grooming her to get and accept, deal with, and comply. Okay, Ebony? Okay? Whatever it was he presented her with, that's what he was doing. And so that's why the mind games were what they were. The disappearing acts and all that kind of stuff. That's why that was what it was. I dare say he would even use his own daughter to make Naziah jealous. Because he knew what Naziah wanted. He knew that Naziah did not want to be in that house anymore. Naziah would say on her Instagram page, I'm tired of babysitting. People were even so ignorant to believe that one of the babies that she was holding was hers. Come on now. The ridiculousness. The ridiculousness. It wasn't her baby. It was one of them flatbacks babies that she was forced to stay in the house and play mother to. Her brother Vari was giving an interview, and he said that he was not even allowed to pursue his either football or basketball desires because he had to go home and clean up the house. What? Woo! I think Shannon turned a blind eye in order to keep him because how could she not know? Oh, ain't no question no more, Patrice. You know what I'm saying? There's no question anymore. Now, when we were first deep diving into this, yeah, we were asking, how did she not know? How could she not have seen? What part didn't she understand? Yeah, we were asking those questions. Ain't nobody asking that no more. Ain't nobody asking that no more. Good morning, Cynthia. How are you, love? Nobody is anymore asking, how did she not know? And like I said earlier in the live, I broke it down. I said, because see, it's a difference in turning a blind eye and doing it and helping to cover it up. Turning a blind eye is as if you don't know, right? You're acting like you're naive to it. Some things may look a little strange, but you're like, it can't be that. Olivia said that's sad the way they took her childhood from her. Can't stand these hoes that try and make other kids raise their siblings because they want to run the streets ill. Absolutely. But see, like I was saying, turning a blind eye does not negate the fact that they knew. Turning a blind eye is what the head flat back would do when she went up in her room and closed the door. But they claimed she was running a tight ship. You can't do that with the door closed. And that's what they said. My mom was always in her room with the door closed. So basically, we ran the house. Okay, well, if you ran the house, then you're responsible as well. And see, unbeknownst, flatback number one was so damn stupid that while she was up on the stand, she said that Jarvis had asked her if he could come and get the girls. That's how he said it. And she said, well, I have to ask my mother about Naziah. So right then and there, she implicated her own mama in knowing that Naziah was going with this monster. See, they thought they were so smart, they were stupid. She straight up said that on the stand. And I call it the stage because it was clearly a performance. It was so much fiction going on up on that platform right there. It was utterly disgusting. One time during the prelim, I don't know if a lot of people caught this update, but after the baby girl gave her testimony, well, during her testimony, the assistant prosecutor, because it wasn't Worthless, it wasn't Kim Worthless, it was another prosecutor within that office that was doing the preliminary hearing. And he asked her, do you see Jarvis in the courtroom? And I'm assuming she looked around because, see, it was off camera. They had emptied the courtroom. There were no spectators. It was only guards and the administration of the courtroom. And she looked, I'm assuming she looked around, and she said no. Right? So the prosecutor asked the judge to instruct anybody in the courtroom that's wearing a mask, PPE mask, to take them off. Because, see, that's what this coward who only knew how to take advantage of and destroy little girls. That's how he presented himself every time, even to the present day, in court. He wore a PPE mask that came over his nose, not just over his mouth, over his nose and his mouth and around his ears. Y'all know the kind I'm talking about. Not the soft cotton one, the hard one, the hard, whatever kind of material that is. That's the kind he wore, the PPE masks. And so the judge said, anyone in the courtroom, everyone, please remove your mask. Well, this motherfucker must have thought she wasn't talking to him, or must have wanted to act like he had selective hearing. And in that moment, he didn't hear anything. So the prosecutor said, Your Honor, will you please instruct everyone in the courtroom that has not to remove their mask? And she said, I'm going to say it one more time. Everyone in the courtroom with a mask on, please remove it for purposes of identification. Because he had cut his hair. He come in with the mask on. They've got him sitting in a chair that's been lowered so low that a 2-year-old could crawl up in it. And they have that chair positioned behind both of his defense attorneys. So a person that is sitting in the up on the stand can't see him. They physically can't see him. It's not that they don't see Jarvis in the courtroom. They would not be able to, because they have him so conspicuously positioned behind them. They're not sitting in a row like we see during most cases. You can look at the defense table and you can physically see everyone. Oh no. Oh no. He's behind them. You literally see defense attorney 1, defense attorney 2, the rest of the table, and then a guard sitting at the end of that table on the side of it. So once he removed his mask, then yeah, she said, yeah, there he is. So yeah, they turned a blind eye, but it did not negate what they knew. It did not. There's a difference in turning a blind eye and not knowing, or acting like you don't know. It's bullshit. Both of them. Both of them is bullshit. You knew and you allowed it. It ain't like every now and then when he would come over, every time you turn around, he coming up out the basement, but you don't say nothing. That's not what was happening. They were literally allowing him to come pick these girls up. The flatback twin testified that Naziah had asked her about a certain intersection, these two particular streets. And I'd have to look back at my notes to know which two streets it was. But she said it. And she said she told Naziah, you know what those streets is, because one comes before the other. And that one runs right into it. And she claims that Naziah said, oh, because we're learning in school to pay attention to our surroundings. Bitch, fuck you. Because that's not the street they lived on. It was, in fact, an intersection where flathead number one would pick up the beast because another one of his concubines, another one of his garbage truck juice smelling hoes lived. Yeah. Down the street. Y'all heard what I said. Uh-huh. I'm pissed, y'all. I am pissed that these three are not shaking in their drawers because they're about to go do some time. Because they're not. As we stand, they are being allowed to get away with everything that happened to all of the victims in that house. They're being allowed to just walk free. They're being allowed to date, to laugh, to live, and if they know how, pamper themselves, enjoy the sunshine, warm water on their skin, cold water in the summer because they're in the swimming pool. They're allowed to go outside and make snowballs in the winter, to see the pretty Christmas trees, Christmas decorations. They're allowed to go to school if they choose, start a new job, cash a check, go to the bank, go to the store and buy what their heart desires. They're allowed to go to McDonald's, and if they ever are so blessed, go to some of the finest restaurants. Did I say they're allowed to tell lies? Because I don't know that they know any other way. And I pay attention to red flags. And the flags that I see tell me that it ain't nothing good about them and the truth don't live where they live. They don't know how to exist that way. Good morning, Steptoe. How are you? Good morning, love. Yes, Rhapsody, they indeed knew what they were doing. Yeah, he was trying to hide Olivia, absolutely. Olivia, she didn't have to get confirmation for the other girl because the other girl was hers. Naziah's cousin was her daughter and Jarvis's daughter. So that's what she called herself, acting like getting permission for Naziah to go with him was the right thing to do. That's what she called herself doing. Getting permission. I'll catch the replay. What we talking about this morning? We're talking about the fact that the women, the female, I'm not calling them women. Forgive me, y'all. I misspoke. We're talking about, as of today, there was a plea deal accepted by Jarvis Butts in the city of Detroit for the unaliving, molestation, and sexual assault, downright rape of a 13-year-old and his own daughter, amongst a plethora of other females and other daughters. They're allowed to see another day. And that's what don't sit right with me. Absolutely, Olivia. Absolutely. I'm mad about it. Naziah, albeit inappropriate, but because of everything that she was exposed to, when she found out she was pregnant, she wanted her baby. She said, I get to have something to love. I get to have someone to show what love feels like, because it's got to be the opposite of this. I'm going to love my baby. I'm going to let my baby know that they're beautiful and that they're important. This one is mine. This is something that I don't have to share with anybody. This is not a hand-me-down. This is not what somebody thought was trash. This is my baby. And she was robbed of that. No matter how anybody feels about a 12 or 13-year-old being pregnant, that's not the point. It happened. While this monster was on Google searches asking how to get rid of a baby at home, but using the ABOR word. How to have an ABOR at home. Will antifreeze, I'm sorry, Olivia, but will antifreeze get rid of a baby? Y'all let that sit there for a minute. Antifreeze? I dare say he should have put it in a needle and put that needle in his arm, in his neck. He could have stuck that needle in his eye for all I care. I dare say. This baby wanted someone to love and someone to love her. And she was robbed of that. Now, in these YouTube streets, there are millions of us who have a story of some type at one time or another. Think about it. How close were you to being Naziah? Are you her cousin who dealt with the same thing, but because he hadn't, but from what we know, she was never impregnated? Or is your story that they tried? Like he did his daughter's cousin. Because these three girls are daughters of three sisters. See, because it ain't just the flatback twins. They have an older sister named Kenyatta. They called her Lady. And unfortunately, she fell into a life of addiction, and she's still stuck. That's a different life, and we're going to have one. But today, all three of those sisters had girls. Huh. Oh, y'all ready to be mad about something else? Flatback twin number one even put her daughter in hair bows and barrettes in a real pretty dress and gave the beast two two cornrows, one on each side, and put him in an old grandpa, Uncle Ben ass suit, and sent them to the baby school for a father, for a daughter daddy dance. Oh, Lord have mercy. When I heard about that, I said that monster walked around with a heart on the whole goddamn time he was there. Because he was like a kid in a candy store. All these little girls running around. And like I've been saying, I don't know if y'all heard my live, but he was convicted of being with a 4-year-old. And listen. Yes, Olivia. Put the purple hearts, the pink hearts, the red hearts, the yellow hearts, the white hearts, the light green hearts, the light blue hearts. I want it looking like springtime up in here for Naziah. Absolutely. Not like, the community, not like the spectrum, but real pretty like we sending them to a little girl. Yes. Flowers, hearts, however y'all want to do it. Make it pretty for these babies. Yes, y'all. Thank you, thank you. They deserve it. Because no matter how often you look a kid in their face and you say, I love you, but you're not showing it, it means nothing. No matter how often you dress your baby up and send them to school to make it look good, they know what's happening at home. There was a chick whose story we're going to talk about. She had 3 kids. And the neighbors say outside the house always looks so neat and clean. People at school would say, but the kids came to school dressed so pretty and clean and decent. No one knew that when 2 of the kids stopped coming to school, it's because they were in the freezer. They were in the freezer in the basement. See, so people dress it up all the time. People are really good on making it look cute. But see, even with Naziah, like these people really did not give a damn. There was video and pictures of when they were at a swimming pool playing and frolicking around and doing what kids do. The girls had on pretty swimsuits with hair bows in their head, and the boys had on swimming trunks. Naziah standing there in a pair of shorts with a wife beater, and her hair is just sticking down, just falling all in her face. Was nothing pretty about it. It was awful how they treated and presented Naziah. I am not saying it was like that all the time. Clearly it wasn't. They showed a picture that Kim Worthless wants us to believe was the last picture of Naziah being seen with us where her hair is clearly neatly done, and she's got on her school uniform and the white turtleneck, and the turtleneck is clean and all of that kind of stuff. I'm not saying she was always a picture of, oh my God. That's not what I'm saying. And why would they put a white shirt on her and they were in water? This is pissing me off. Absolutely. Why didn't she have on a sweatsuit? I mean, a swimsuit. Why she couldn't wear a swimsuit? Why she had to walk around in somebody's, here, put this on? Why? You mean to tell me you couldn't go to Walmart and get her a $12 swimsuit when you was getting your babies a swimsuit? Naziah didn't deserve one. And I don't give a damn. I don't want to hear nobody say, well, she couldn't find it. I bet you. But see, your daughter's hair was combed. Beautiful hair bows and barrettes. Naziah's hair wasn't even so much as in a ponytail. Why she had to be treated that way? Everybody got a story. How many of us was Naziah in that moment where we felt like we were just pushed aside? We were a bother. They just couldn't be bothered with us. Exactly, Olivia. I felt where you was coming. White shirts are see-through. Yes. They say at the clubs they wear them. Oh, baby, you didn't have to redact that. But yes, I totally understand where you're coming from. You can. And with certain material, it don't even matter what color it is. But see, as it is though, baby, her body was still very underdeveloped. So she still had, now if I say this word wrong, don't y'all laugh at me. Prepubescent, something like that. Her body was underdeveloped. She still very much had a body of a little boy, as she should have at 10, 11 years old. Wet shirt contests. Absolutely. Absolutely. I dare say, though, y'all, I won one in a black t-shirt. Yes, I did. But, yeah, we ain't talking about me. So, just a little bit of comic relief. That's all, y'all. Just because we got to laugh a little bit. Or by the end of these lives, we'll lose our damn mind. But in any case, that baby was treated so wrong. She was disregarded in so many different ways. She was made to feel like she did not matter. Ooh, you a cold piece, Auntie. No, I'm just, you know I gotta make y'all laugh. Whoa, come on now. Give me a little grace, baby. Let me slide through there sometimes. You know. No, I'm just playing. But this baby was so tortured that she told a man who was doing these unspeakables to her innocence that sometimes she wished she could live with him. Okay, now, baby, I got you. See, because this this little girl, she didn't know that he was handing it out, spreading it wide and thin. She didn't know. He was throwing out sperm like, here, you get some and you get some. She didn't know. I dare say she believed any and everything he said to her, as any child does. Didn't you? I know I did. I believed anything an adult said when I was a child. That's a part of being a child. That's a part of our innocence, our naivety. That's a part of that. And it's supposed to be so cute. I remember one time my grandson was on the phone talking to his little cousin, and he was telling his little cousin, yeah, my mommy about to have a baby. And the little cousin asked, what's the baby's name? And he said, the baby's name is Cheesecake. And he was dead ass serious. But he's 5 years old. And so my 10-year-old said, wait a minute, mommy, you really naming the baby Cheesecake? Now, that was the naivety of a 10-year-old. He knew that it sounded strange, but he still, as a 10-year-old, thought that that was a possibility. Naivety, innocence. They stripped that of that baby and many others. Many, many others. One of his daughters, when she turned of age and she was going to the prom, her mother knew what he did. He knew what he did. She said, she testified that when she got older, she asked him, why did you do that to me? And all he said was, I'm sorry. But this particular day, she's getting ready to go to the prom. Do you know this beast was standing at the threshold of the door to take her hand, to escort her out the door, as if he deserved that honor? And I looked at that screen like it stank. I looked at that screen like it had shit all over it. Because see, y'all, listen here. I'm here to tell y'all, if y'all haven't done your jobs right, you don't deserve the honors. Period. If you haven't done your job right, stop talking about what you should be getting. What you looking forward to. Because no, you shouldn't. You don't deserve it. You being the father don't make you just automatically entitled to something. You being the mother having given birth does not make you automatically entitled to something. The only thing that you're entitled to, if you're not doing the job correctly, is your name to be on that birth certificate. That's it. Hello, Olivia. That's the only thing you're entitled to. You don't get a cracker for feeding your kids every day. You don't get a reward for clothing your children properly. You don't get accolades for raising them in a loving home, a clean, loving home. That's what the fuck you supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. And that's what the parents who raised you was supposed to do. That's period. Cross the board. Your kids should be presentable when they go to school. They should be presentable when they go outside to play. They should be presentable when they go to the pool. They should be able to laugh and play and scream like little kids do and get on your damn nerves. They should be doing that. That demonstrates health, happiness, and love. I understand what you mean, Patrice. That beast don't deserve air. Okay? It's gonna cut to the chase. He don't deserve air. His lungs does not deserve to function. And there are a couple of other organs I could name as well. Okay? But I'm mad, y'all. I'm mad that these whales are still walking free. I'm mad about it. I don't care why. I don't care who made the decision. I just care that they did and that they shouldn't have. And I am utterly disappointed that with all of the ugliness and nastiness that's happening in Detroit, that people's feet don't hurt. I really feel some type of way about that. People need to be upset that they just physically can't do it today because they was out there all day yesterday and they got blisters on the bottom of their feet walking that walk because they talking that talk. I'm upset about that. While crime happens everywhere, the way that the young ladies are disappearing in Detroit, it's because they're getting away with it. If y'all look at the statistics, the unaliving rate skyrocketed when these states did away with the DP. They skyrocketed. And see, my husband, he works in that field. He works in that field. Reentry case manager of parolees that are coming from, that have the SO registration and come from that walk of life. He works in the field where he had to get them prepared for reentry into society. Find them housing, find them jobs. And that shit fucked him up. He would come home and talk to me about people's charges. And they were worse than Jarvis. And these creatures were being sentenced to 25 to life or 10 to 25, whatever. But they would do 10 years and do to come home on parole because there's been some kind of resentencing um, thing that happened within the states. Yeah. 10 to 20, they were coming home in 10 after literally tearing a 2-year-old apart before and after. You understand what I'm saying? Before and after. Tearing them apart in the act, and then tearing them apart so that they wouldn't be found, but they were found. These motherfuckers coming home in 10 years. Did they forget during the sentencing guidelines that a child is gone? And under the circumstances of which? How the hell y'all parole that? So he got out of that field. He couldn't take it anymore. Because it was going against his moral compass. He no longer desired to help the SO community. Because see, when he first started working at that particular job, it was for the homeless. He wanted to help their displacing. He wanted to help them become productive members of society. And then the director of this place, he wanted to integrate, all for money. He wanted to integrate the parole population. And because New York, in upper state, in New York State, in this particular city, nobody else would house these monsters. So he said, give me that money. All I care about is the money. While he had everybody else doing the hard work, having to meet with these people, sit down and talk to these people, and listen to them make excuses for why they were in the situation that they were in, as if he didn't have the paperwork right in front of him. He said he would have some that would look him in his face and say, man, they lied on me. I ain't do none of that. Motherfucker, you admitted to it. You gave details. So he couldn't take it anymore. So he got out of that field. And now he works with the mental health and addiction community. And it's much more satisfying. Some funny stories, but there's nothing horror about it. It used to be, because the drug addiction community is troubled in a different kind of way. And it's very sad. It's very sad. And you talk about people turning a blind eye. People whose job it is to pay attention. People whose job it is to deep dive. That's what you call turning a blind eye. Sean, life be lifting me. Got me some errands to run. I'll catch rest on the replay. I shared this to Facebook. Thank you, Rhapsody. See, so while I understand what, and I'm about to end this in about 10 minutes, y'all. I'm not going to keep you. It is Sunday. And frankly, my big guy, Doobie, is waiting on Mama to start dinner. But I just want to finish on this. When I said that the system is failing us, they are. When I say that law enforcement, for the majority, really don't give a damn, they don't. And it's not just the Caucasians. It's all of law enforcement. When I say all, I mean the uniform. Race doesn't matter anymore because those that look like us have gotten away with it, and they continue to. And so, with those two entities that have and continue to show us they really don't care. And y'all want to know why? Because we have the beluga whales of the world. So it's making these people say, why should I tire myself out? I got my own kids to go home and deal with. I got my own crap at home to deal with. I got a husband that ain't treating me right. I got kids that don't appreciate me. Why should I leave all of my stuff at the job when I got stuff to go home and deal with? That's CPS. That's that entity. Yeah. So that's why we've got to stop minding our own business. Because if we're going to have these conversations, I want us to not be hypocritical. It only takes a moment. I know that's right, Olivia. We ain't even got to put them in the ocean. We can leave them perched right there up on that sand so they dry out. Right there on the sand so that they dry out. Where you know how the water wash up on shore and it just barely touches the whale that's drying out. That just enough that make them think, oh God, I'm gonna make it, and then the water runs away. And then the water comes back and it just touches the tip of their tail, the tip of a fin, and then it washes away. And then before you know it, they're gone. They're dry. That's where they need to be. Not even in the water. Because whales want to be in the water. Whales live in the water. They don't need to be living in the water. Okay? But, so y'all, yeah. When y'all are in the mall and y'all see little girls, just smile at them. You're such a pretty little girl. You be good for your mommy, okay? And then keep it moving because you don't want to seem creepy. But isn't that sad, though? That's sad that our world has come to this, that even if you tell a little girl that she's pretty and you're smiling at her, that motherfuckers is liable to look at you like you're creepy. But see, I remember as a little girl, people telling me that I was pretty and it was okay. I want to get back there. I want to get back there. To where when you say it to a little boy, hey, handsome, you all right? You good? Yes, ma'am. You have no idea how you just made that baby's day. Because somebody was probably just pinching on him a minute ago. And he ain't even did nothing wrong. But they just mean and evil like that. Stand in the gap, y'all. If your baby come home and are telling you stories about a little girl that she don't like, and if she say something like, if you ask her, well, why you don't like her? Well, she stink. Maybe have a conversation with the teacher and ask the teacher about this student, because there may be something that you can do. You know, they enacted these things in certain schools where they had washers and dryers because the teachers are seeing that these babies is coming to school unkept. And so these children are suffering the teasing and the belittling from the other children because kids can be cruel and they think it's funny. That's what I'm saying, Steptoe. But you can. Just keep it moving after you do. Smile at them. Not too long, not creepy like. Just say, hey, baby, you're so cute. And keep it moving. Just a moment of sunshine for the babies. A moment of love for that young boy. Because if you don't, he's gonna be standing on the corner waiting for you to come outside in the dark and take what you've worked hard for. If you don't, that little girl could turn out to be Naziah Harris. Come on, y'all. We got to. It's our job. I want the village back. Because the productive members of the society deserve it. Love on your people, man. Hug your babies a little harder. And smile at them. Tell your young man, you are so handsome. I'm so proud of you. Tell your baby girl so that she's not looking forward in other people. Tell them, you're so pretty. You are the prettiest girl on earth. Let her know that. I appreciate you guys for joining me this morning. I appreciate you guys for supporting me. And I love you after that. Have a good day, babies.